Good morning, friends. It is Sunday when I'm filming this, and it's really early in the morning because, you can tell from my voice, can't you? That's really weird. So I just want to jump into it. Today I've got 3 or 4 videos to film, so let's do this. Got my coffee. It says Mr. Right. There's another one that says Mr.'s always right because marriage. Let's go, boys. The first thing I want to film today is a book haul, so it's not very big. But I wanted to show you some of the books I have, and then I'm going to start a list, and that'll help me keep up with books that I have hauled a little bit easier because I struggle with, have I shown them this book already, and not wanting to go and watch all of my hauls just to remember them. So I'm going to start keeping a list. That way it's easy because some of them I read right away and some I wait to read. So this is just an updated book haul to get myself straight. I have Spawn Origin Collections Volume 7. This is the volume that my husband just finished. He is currently waiting. No, he's still reading this one. This is the one he's currently reading. You can see his little bookmark in there. It has this shiny, textured Spawn on the front, and then the rest of it's kind of a matte, like a foggy matte, if you know what I'm talking about. And then this is that same shiny lettering, and it's very beautiful. The illustrations are gorgeous. I know I've mentioned it before. It also has this reflective Spawn on the back, which is really cool. I think they do a really good job with these trade paperbacks. They're originally like $15, but I think we've been getting them like half price on random websites or eBay or Amazon used book websites. So I don't recommend just going and buying them brand new unless you just have the money to support the artist that way, because comics are very expensive. But if you're trying to be thrifty like us, used is always a good option. I've never had one be in bad condition, but I'm sure it happens. So, it's just a risk you take. This series is about a character who dies and tries to make a deal with demons to come back and get revenge and find out, I think, who killed him. He's like a hell spawn. So it's pretty dark, and the art is so gruesome and beautiful. The colors are great. Todd McFarlane is super talented. I just can't get over how gorgeous these are on the inside. They're very horror action based. And one day I will read these. I started the first one a long time ago, but we had to get rid of it because it was a library copy, and I don't want to borrow it again right now during all this pandemic stuff. So I'm going to wait until we rebuy the first 3 because he read the 3 that we got from the library, and then we bought 4 through 7. And I think 8's on the way. I'll wait till we get all of them to start them. So yeah, that's something that we got. Next, I got volumes 7 and 8 of Kiss Him Not Me. This is a manga by Junko. I think Junko mostly did a lot of boy love, only in Japanese manga before this. There might be 1 or 2 series that they've done that has been translated. As far as I know, I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I want more of this author. I don't speak Japanese, so I'm going to have to wait till they're translated. It's a series about a girl named Kay, purple hair girl here, who was very large. She didn't seem unhappy that way, but she gets depressed because a character from her favorite anime dies. So her boy crush from an anime dies. And so she gets depressed and she goes into her bedroom and she doesn't come out and doesn't eat for weeks or days or whatever. And she loses a ton of weight. So it's pretty problematic from the start. But if you can get past that weird thing, it's a great series. I highly recommend it. It's definitely got its issues. It is not very deep as far as the plot goes. It's literally just girl gets hot, guys want to date her. That's the base of this series. But I love these characters so much that I cannot put this down. If I had access to a bookstore that had all of them there, I would have bought all of them already at once. It's just so good. It is fantastic, and I think it has 14 books in the series, so I'm about halfway through now, and I want to order all of them and read them really quickly because they're just so fun. Their art is gorgeous, and I just can't get over how much I love these guys. Like, there's a girl character too, but I'm not as wild about her. But I love these boys. Like, anime boys are great. Like, I don't know who decided the different boy types in anime, but she nails them on the head with this, and they're perfect. Like, I cannot decide who I want her to end up with. And I've heard that she actually does pick one of the boys, a girl maybe, but I've heard that she picks one of the 5. And I can't decide who I think it is because I don't think it's 2 different characters. I have a choice between 2 that I cannot pick. And it's driving me nuts because I feel like everyone online is like, oh, it's obvious from the beginning who she's going to be with. And I'm like, there's 2 characters that I'm being led to believe that she could be choosing between. And I think I know which one it is, but there's another contender who is pushing and shoving in there, and I cannot decide. And it is pushing me to read this, and I cannot get over it. And it's got dumb shenanigans like any anime, like they go to the park or they go to the beach, stuff like that. But boys are fighting to win her attention, and then there's some steamy moments throughout there. So it's just so good. Like, highly recommend it. I'm talking about it way too long, but I can't get over how much I love this series. And if you love crazy shoujo, lovey-dovey, chase-around comedy manga, this is for you. The next book I got, if I've shown you already, I'm really sorry, but I tried to go back and watch old hauls, is Summer of Salt by Katrina Leno. This is a book that I got from Amazon for like $5 used. Perfect condition, nothing wrong with it. And originally I think it is $17.99 US. This is I think it's a contemporary YA about, it's kind of dark too, about a girl who lives on an island and she has her family, which for some reason only the women are living in the house. And they all have magical abilities. They're not necessarily like witches per se, but they don't say the word witches, but it's like everyone knows that's what it is. And they all have a different power. Like the mom is good at making like any kind of potion. If she like wants to make something, she knows how to make it and she can make it happen. And one daughter can float and they don't know what that's going to turn into. And one daughter hasn't gotten her powers yet, so they don't know if she's just an oddity or if she actually has powers and they haven't developed yet, because I think it happens like at their 18th birthday or something. So it's very magical and cute, but also very contemporary, realistic in the small town sense on this island. Everybody knows everyone, and a little bit of drama happens, but not enough to be like, because I'm not a huge fan of like a domestic-y drama with small people, like small groups of people. I think sometimes I get a little eye-rolly with dramas, but this one was very realistic as far as magical realistic goes. You know what I'm saying. There's a bird that comes to the island and everybody travels to this island to see this bird, and it's supposedly like the only one they've ever seen of this breed. So it's like real magically and mysterious, and people have been studying it. And so they have like the tourists who come in every year to see it, and then they have a festival, and it's just like a tradition that they do. Well, one year it doesn't show up, and so they're trying to figure out what's up. And that's pretty much what this book is about these sisters going through their magical stuff / where's the bird? And it does have a trigger warning in it. I have a review for this. If you want to watch it, I'll put it in the cards so that you know the trigger. If you want to see the trigger is a spoiler, so just be prepared for that. But I do warn you in the video about that before I go into it. So that's just a warning if you want to read this. It's very short, but I could not put it down. It was so good. The next book that I have is Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn. This is a new one I got in the mail the other day. I had to buy this one brand new, but it was still discounted on Amazon. I didn't want to buy from Amazon, but I needed like 7 other things, so I just decided to get it through there. I wanted hardcover, but they didn't have it in this book. I don't think there is a hardcover, but I really, really wanted to read it because everyone told me, if you like Gillian Flynn now, you need to read Sharp Objects. And it's super short. Like, this book is tiny. 252 pages. And they're like super thin, and it's like, I think I could get through this pretty quickly. And it says on the back, I haven't read the synopsis, I kind of don't want to, but I think it's about a serial killer who like cuts people up or something. I really don't know. It's for some reason, Gillian Flynn and certain thriller authors, I don't want to read the synopsis because I'm afraid it'll reveal too much. So I don't think I'm going to read the synopsis on this one. I only know what I've heard people say about it. Like, it's great and it's about a serial killer. So that's literally all I know. And I can't wait to read it. Let me know if you've read this without any spoilers. Like, did you love it? Did you hate it? How similar is it to Gone Girl as far as like tone? Because that's what I'm hoping for. Like that kind of, maybe not the same like theme, but you know, that feeling I got when I read it. But that's hard to kind of express. But anyways, I'm excited to read this one. It was at least half price. I can't remember what I paid exactly. Next things I got, or the last things that I got, are Soul of the Sword by Julie Kagawa. Sorry, I will learn how to say that name, I promise, in the next video. And Night of the Dragon by Julie. This is the last book and the second book of the Shadow of the Fox trilogy. This is a story, I think it's a YA fantasy, and it's fairly light fantasy. It's not super in-depth. I'm very new to the fantasy genre, so I'm scared to jump into a high fantasy. I feel like I've struggled in the past to read them because it just doesn't feel realistic enough for me to visualize. And so I'm trying to ease myself into the fantasy with some light YA fantasy. It's in a different world. I don't know what considers high fantasy, but to me, high fantasy is way more advanced language and adult themes and like a little more confusing with the magic systems. And this is just basic like feudally era Japan. There's a fox half-demon girl who has to escape from a village for reasons, and she's delivering a piece of a scroll to another temple to give it to the monks there so that they can defend it, because she's not strong enough to defend it herself, and there has to be a certain amount of pieces of the scroll. Similar to Dragon Balls and Dragon Ball Z, like they have to have all of the pieces of the scroll to get a wish from the dragon, and he comes every like 1,000 years or something like that. So the night that he comes is approaching, and they have to get all the scrolls together so that when he comes, either they don't make a wish or they make sure that not the wrong person makes a wish. And so all these evil people, all these powerful people are trying to get the scroll, and so they're sending assassins and all kinds of mercenaries to assassinate her or to find where it is. Some people don't know that she has a scroll, so she has to keep that hidden from people and her friends, some of them. And so this one's about a character who gets possessed by a demon. And so it's a friend of theirs, and they have to fight a temple with other people to try to save him, but also get rid of the demon inside of him. This is like the in-between travel-y book, which was really good. There was also an LGBTQ theme within this one that I did not know existed until this book. And so I'm guessing it will continue into this one. I have not read this one yet. All of these have been 5 stars for me. They're great. I love them. And the covers are gorgeous too. The writing is very easy for me to get into, but it's also a tiny bit cheesy, only because it feels like an anime, and anime can sometimes have that Japanese humor. It's a little bit silly, but that's not bad. Like, I love anime, and this feels like an anime. It feels like Inuyasha mixed with Dragon Ball Z. I keep saying that every time I describe this book, but that's the best description I can give. If you liked those two, anime or manga, I think you would like this series because it is a very similar feel with a group of friends traveling. The only issue I've seen so far with these books has been the reason that the friends traveled with her. 1 or 2 of them might have had a decent reason, but like at least one of them was just kind of like, because, and I'm just like, because like in Inuyasha, they all had their reasons for revenge. So that was what drove them all to follow Inuyasha and Kagome, even if it wasn't the choice of Inuyasha. I'm getting rambly. Oh my goodness. I got a lot of videos to film. I can't be doing this. I just wanted to show you guys all the books that I got. They're gorgeous. And this one's a lot shorter than the rest. The average of these books has been around like 400 pages, maybe more. This one's less than 400. They're not that different, but they look totally different to me. And so I think I'm going to fly through this one very quickly, but I'm very, very excited to finish the series, and I hope that it goes in some decent directions. She hasn't really killed any of the characters, I think, unless I forgot. I'll have to do some recaps, reading summaries and stuff. But, it's a very safe series, but if you're new to fantasy like me, I recommend it. Yeah, guys, that's it for this haul. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a very tiny baby haul, but I did talk a lot, so what can you do? I hope you're having a fantastic day. Please like this video if you enjoy hauls. It lets me know that I should make more of them in the future. Feel free to subscribe to my channel if you want to, or if you're new here. I put out all kinds of bookish content. Sometimes I do miss a week, but most of the time I upload every single week. It depends on if I'm able to film multiple videos throughout the weekend, because that's my filming schedule right now. I hope you're having a good day. Stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.